fast lane when I pass in the street. Bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle.
What's going on, everybody? Man, Eric Wilson in for the Sports Arena and the National Scouting Combine. And there's a big thing happening this weekend up in Albany, New York. And I have the privilege of talking to someone who has been a major part of it, but also someone who I love talking to because just the energy that this young man brings is just so infectious. Like, you just can't help but smile when you're around him because he is just so full of life and so full of so much just genuine positivity. I love talking to him. So this is my guy, came to the National Scouting Combine a few years ago, has excelled exceptionally well at the quarterback position. As he likes to say, or I guess the coin has been phrased, Kulkamania is in the building. My man, Tyler Kulka, joining me here on the Sports Arena. What's up, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you? I'm loving the Kulkamania stuff. It's been a blast. Some fans brought it in, and it's been pretty awesome. I've been running with it, so it's been great.
Hey, man, first off, it is so great to see you. I know we didn't really get a chance to hang out that much this year down in Naples because you had so much going on. Coming back and kind of coaching the offensive guys on just preparation and making sure that they were prepared for the showcase. It was just great to see you, great to see Devin. But, man, let me, if I can, take a time machine and go back a few years to when we first met at the National Scouting Combine in Indy. You were a guy, let me see if I got this correct. I know you're from Clinton Township in Michigan, but you went to Chippewa Valley High School. You played there 4 or 5 years. Then, high school 4 years. Then you went to Lawrence Tech Blue Devils.
Yep.
And you played there. And there is where I really feel like we began to see the quarterback position of Tyler Kulka really come into fruition. Talk to me about just playing at Lawrence Tech, what that was like as a Blue Devil and how that kind of puts you where you are today.
Well, Lawrence Tech was amazing. To be honest, when I came in there, I was told, we want to build this program from scratch. We're bringing back football for the first time since World War II. And so for me, it was, exciting. It was a great opportunity to put my name on something and, start football for the first time at a school. It was just so cool and an opportunity to be able to go play right away. And so for me, I jumped on that opportunity and, honestly just got a lot of experience, started every game since I got there as a freshman all the way up until my senior year. And even we had that little COVID year with 2 games. So, it was just a great experience just to be able to, get reps and be able to be the guy and the captain and the leader and the quarterback and be able to, fail and make mistakes, but then also learn from those mistakes and get better. And I really think it made me into the quarterback that I am today. And I'm really blessed for all the opportunities that Lawrence Tech gave me.
So as that leader, you were able to basically, the quarterbacks, as we say, they get all the credit. They also get all the blame. Where were you as far as your development process? And we'll touch on what happened at the combine. And then, of course, your just ascension onward and upward. But let's just take the last 2 years of being there as the quarterback. And you talked about the failing process. What did that teach you?
Well, I think for me, it taught me, to learn from my mistakes. I think that was the big thing, because, the only way, you learn is when you fail. I think when you win, I think things kind of can get scraped under the rug and you don't really, learn the lessons that you need to learn. And so I think for me, like failing in those instances really made me who I am. It's literally like, you learn from those mistakes because you don't want to make them again. And so, as a quarterback, I remember there were games in college where I had rough games. I threw 3 interceptions and, maybe tried to do a little too much and try to help my team a little too much. And, I think that's created, literally who I am today, just from learning from those mistakes. I think not only from, even myself, but also as a leader, like from a team's perspective, you only get so many mistakes in a game. You games are decided by maybe 2 or 3 mistakes that you can make. And, so you go into a football game and your goal is to make the least amount of mistakes. And so, I think, that's why you practice. That's why you learn. And in those instances at Lawrence Tech, that's what I learned. That's what I was able to go through was, failing in those instances and then being able to rise above that and be able to become great through it.
All right. So from there, you come to the National Scouting Combine. And I mean, listen, as a quarterback, I can say as someone who has been a part of the combine for the last 7, 8, 9 years, I see them all. I see all facets. I see all walks of life come into the National Scouting Combine. There was something different about you, Tyler. What I can tell you is from the moment you entered the facility, there was a sense of presence, a sense of focus, but most importantly, there just was, like I said earlier, there was an energy about you that became infectious. When you came to the National Scouting Combine, talk to me about what your goal was, because we know everybody's intent is to come in and, as I like to always say, show up and show out and get themselves to that next level. It just seemed like for you, sir, were slightly above the curve when you came to Indy that year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful for that. Honestly, like that makes me feel really good, obviously. And, I think really what it is obviously everybody's goal when they go to Senior Bowls and stuff like that is to get noticed and get put on the map and be able to get to that next level, get in the NFL, get in the CFL. And I think, for me, it was a little more than that. I just love ball. So for me, I was just excited to get to go play football. And, for me, like I had played in a few Senior Bowls already. And I remember that one, the National Scouting Combine specifically, I was just like, man, I get to go play football today. And it was like, I just love this game, whether it's just going to practice and being a scout team quarterback. If that is what my team needs from me, that's what I'll love to do because I really do love this game. And it's just so much fun to me. And I've really, this love came from a very early age, when I was little, just running around in my little Lions uniform and watching my dad's old high school highlight tape, so that's where this all came from. And, for me, like I sit there and I'm like, I get to go play a game. I get to make money to play a child's game now, which is just so cool. Like, it's a dream come true. And so in that moment, it was like, man, I get to go put on the pads, put on a helmet, and I get to play football with some of the greatest athletes in the country. And so for me, it was like, not only the idea of like, oh, let's put my name on the map, let's go be special. But for me, it was like, I get to go play football today against some of the greatest talent in the country. And I get to really see how I stack up against these guys. And this is going to be so fun to get to play this great game with these people.
And from there, Tyler, you truly ascended, like I said, to a level because you went from the National Scouting Combine, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this, you then began playing with a team that played in Japan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was in Tokyo, Japan for 2 years, got signed to the Obix Seagulls, and it was an amazing experience. Like, Japan is so cool. I love the food out there. It was amazing. My team was great. The league is great. Yeah, man, that was an amazing blessing. Came out of nowhere. I think God really blessed me with that opportunity to be able to go out there and be able to play the game that I love and be able to, really excel. I had a lot of fun in Japan, learning a language, meeting new people. I built relationships there that last a lifetime. I would say my tight end was, my tight end from that team was, in my wedding, so just like little things like that, like are things that I'll never forget.
So yeah, talk to me about that brotherhood that exists, because on every level, especially in the game of football, there seems to be just a chemistry of people who connect, and that brotherhood is formed. So as you were saying, one of your tight end when you played with the Seagulls was your best man in your wedding. How have those shaped who you are when you do go to a new league, such as the AF1, and now becoming the quarterback of the Nashville Kats? How have those moments helped propel you and develop you into the quarterback that you are today?
Well, I think you realize, and I'm going to be honest, like, going back to Japan, like, I think that was kind of my toughest thing of being in Japan was, I felt like I couldn't communicate as well because I didn't know the language and I was trying to learn it as much as I can, but Japanese is a hard language. And so for me, like, I think that was something that, was tough at times, but like, because I'm the kind of guy that wants to, be your best friend and be able to build relationships with all the guys in the locker room and be able to, do that. And that's the leadership style that I like to do. I like to be, buddy with everybody. And at the same time, when you earn that respect as a friend, when it's time and it's crunch time and you're asking something, you're expecting someone from someone, they'll listen to you if they respect you as a friend as well. And so that was my leadership style. And so in Japan, obviously the Americans can speak English. And so that, my tight end was American, but some of the Japanese guys, you couldn't really speak to. It was tough at times. And so, coming back here, it was almost like, as much as I love Japan, it was amazing. It was kind of a breath of fresh air of being able to communicate with every single one of my teammates and build amazing relationships and, giving these guys hugs and, just being able to, tell them I love them and just, make sure that they know that, hey, not only am I your leader, but I'm also your best friend. And, we're going to do this together.
All right, so let's get to the main thing being the main thing, man. This Saturday, June 28th, Albany, New York, the Nashville Kats going up against the Albany Firebirds for the Arena Crown. Mm-hmm. And you, sir, again, are at the helm. You are leading a group of men to play this game. What has this season been like for you? And how excited are you to be in this moment, knowing that this could again propel you, move you forward, and continually move that needle of the Kulkamania legacy?
Well, for me, like, it's just a game. And so I'm going to this championship game and I'm really excited. I got some good relationship with some of the guys at Albany, Sam Castronova. We've built a relationship. Coach Ware's a great coach. And they're a great team. They're a juggernaut for real. And so we're going to have to go in and play our best game. But, I respect everybody and I fear nobody. And so at the same time, we're going into this game and we're going to be able to go out and play the best that we can and realize that, hey, man, like, you don't have to do too much. You don't have to try and do too much because that's when you make mistakes. You just have to play your game and do what we've done all year. And so that's kind of the mindset that I'm going in with this game. And honestly, it's a dream come true. I mean, I'm so excited. It's going to be a blast. Like, going into a big game like this and getting into a championship game doesn't come very often. And so, not only is this, we're just going to go play this game and, focus and just treat it like it's every other game. But, we're also going to go take advantage of the moment and really enjoy it for sure.
Tyler, I know you are huge. You are big on just your faith in who you are as a man, but your faith in God. Talk to me how that has kept you not only humble, but also blessed throughout your entire football career and throughout your entire life.
Man, I love that question. God has led me through my entire career. And when I started this professional career, I was sitting in my apartment in Japan and just got signed. And I remember praying to God and said, God, take my career where you want it to go. And wherever that needs to be, wherever I can influence people and bring them closer to God, that's what I want to do. And literally ever since then, God has, literally guided my career. Every single thing that I've done has literally came out of nowhere. Even going to college at LTU. When I went on my mission after high school, I wasn't planning on going to Lawrence Tech University. I was planning on walking on at BYU. And, I came back and got that opportunity. It came out of nowhere. And I was able to start and play the game that I love. And it was amazing. And then, then going to Japan, that came out of nowhere. I remember at the National Scouting Combine talking to the chief scout and, being able to, talk to them. I really thought I was going to make it in the NFL. And, Japan came out of nowhere, and the relationships that I built there and the people that I influenced there was just so special. And then, coming home from Japan and getting opportunity with the Nashville Kats, this came out of nowhere. I wasn't even here at the beginning of the season. I didn't even get invited at the beginning of the season. This kind of came out because I literally the first game, I guess the quarterbacks played pretty rough and they brought me in. And now Kulkamania is running rampant in AF1. And now I'm in the championship game. So, I sit here and I'm just like, man, not look what I did, but look what God did. And I'm so blessed to have him in my life.
Amazing, man. It has been a privilege. Truly, it has been an honor to watch you grow as a football player, but also as a man these last few years. Again, every time I see you, I see Devin, I see other guys who have come back after coming to the National Scouting Combine. It just does me so good because just the energy that you guys have, it just makes what the National Scouting Combine does, that purpose, that mission and that vision, it is truly embodied in guys like you and in guys like Devin. So, thank you first and foremost for always taking the time to be a part of it, number one. But number two, man, don't ever lose that because it is such a I thrive on that, man. Yeah, like y'all get me hyped. You guys know, and I very rarely do this. You guys know every year I run the 40. Listen,
of course,
I'm gonna be 49, and as I say, as long as I'm still under 6 seconds, I'm good. But I do it just to hype y'all up. But I feel like you guys hype me up and get me so prepared for this that I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go do it. There's not even a question about it. But man, many blessings to you. I look forward to seeing what happens on Saturday. I know the game is going to be on Vice TV. I know the world wants Kulkamania to run wild, man. Just like you said, go out there, have fun, do your thing, and wherever it takes you next, just know that you are meant to be in that position to do what you love to do.
Yes, sir. I'm really excited, and thank you so much for having me on the show. And it's going to be a special moment, and I'm really excited to go have fun on Saturday. It's going to be a blast.
All right, my man. I definitely, I will catch up with you. Stay blessed. Do your thing, and let them know, man. Kulkamania is coming to Albany and fitting to run wild all over them.
Yes, sir. Kulkamania, baby. Let's go get it.
All right, I'll talk to you.
See ya.
Hey, great young man. Again, this Saturday on Vice TV, the AF1 is having their Arena Crown matchup between the Albany Firebirds and my man Tyler Kulka leading the charge, Kulkamania with the Nashville Kats. You made it up, Wilson, for the Sports Arena National Scouting Combine. Everybody stay blessed. I will talk to you soon. Peace.